You're watching TVS News at 5. It's Thursday, April 14. You're now with me, Douglas Elliott, and let's begin with our top story. The State Legislative Assembly, Dun, will reconvene in May for the second meeting of its first session. Through an official notice, the 19th Dun sitting will be held from May 17 to 26 and will be officiated by Head of State Tun Pehin Sri Abdul Taib Mahmud.
His Excellency is set to deliver his address at the opening ceremony, a practice that was omitted in the previous Dun sitting in February. All 82 statesmen are invited to attend the opening ceremony with their respective spouses. Elected representatives can also submit up to 10 oral questions for the upcoming session, as per Dun Standing Orders 19 and 24, which must be sent to Dun Secretary by April 29th.
Lembaga Tabung Haji TH handed over its business tithe totaling 2.03 million ringgit for the 2021 financial year to the Sarawak BAITULMAL Fund on Thursday. Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer Dr. Sri Amrin Awaludin said the payment was part of Tabung Haji's responsibility as a caring organization.
As their aim is to empower Islamic finance and develop the socio-economy of the Ummah for the benefit of Asnaf. Earlier, Amrin presented a replica of the cheque to the Premier of Sarawak, Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, at Wisma, Bapak Malaysia. Meanwhile, he also mentioned about the total tithe payment for 2021 has increased by 1.4% from 107.197 million ringgit compared to 105.712 million ringgit in 2020. This year, TH has also allocated 28.8 million ringgit to implement its corporate social responsibility programs.
The Immigration, Customs, Quarantine and Security ICQS complex at BIAWAK will be open to the public and vehicles coming from the Indonesia border beginning Friday, April 15. However, the Sarawak Disaster Management Committee SDMC in a statement said it will only be for private or individual vehicles.
Additionally, these vehicles must meet with the Road Transport Department JPJ requirements. SDMC Deputy Chairman said all travellers coming in must comply with the existing standard operating procedures. Meanwhile, travellers would have to follow 4 conditions when entering through the ICQS BIAWAK. They must first register and activate the My Sejahtera application while also registering for the My Travel card. Travellers are also required to show their COVID-19 test results as well as purchase the COVID-19 insurance with a minimum value of $20,000.
It was a memorable start to the day for National Diving Queen Datuk Pandelela Rinong, as she had a close call in a toilet mishap that could have caused her serious injuries. Taking to her Facebook post, Pandelela shared that she was almost hit by a falling toilet tank at her diving gym this morning.
Thankfully, the 29-year-old diver escaped with only minor cuts to her left heel. The ceramic tank appeared to have dislodged from its wall bracket and fell a few meters onto the toilet, which caused the toilet tank to shatter upon impact. Fans were quick to wish her a speedy recovery, and many were relieved that the athlete did not sustain grave injuries. Pandelela is set to represent Malaysia at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham this July.
Rural areas make up a large part of Sarawak. However, satellite broadbands are still being widely used. The Sarawak Development Institute has come up with initiatives to address the rural connectivity, as the goal is to improve the quality of broadband services.
Associate Professor of the University of Technology UTS Malaysia, Tariq Zaman, said that through the Digital Inclusion Policy Literacy Program PACT, it'll help solve the 3 challenges rural areas are facing, including policy, supply, and demand challenges.
We start coming up with our own program that how we are going to settle or how we are going to address those challenges with our partnership with other international collaborators and local. So one of the parties on the policy side. so that is where we start working on identifying the gaps in policy and programs, and then also to come up some decision support system which can help the decision maker to see that what is the current status of internet in the localities.
One of the initiatives proposed at the Brown Bag Talk organized by the Sarawak Development Institute SDI is to establish a community of networks in Malaysia. This is done to find a suited digital infrastructure for the community.
Developing a community network in the first community network here in Malaysia with Bawang Asan community to establish the first community network, which includes the combination of training of the community to better understand and then the community to plan the digital infrastructure, how it should be placed, where it should be placed.
Another initiative planned is to improve the quality of service monitoring and reporting for user experience by refining the Jendela map experience. This is by allowing users to upload their own network status so the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission MCMC and local authorities will be able to understand what the users are experiencing. Additionally, the MCMC allocated 3.2 billion ringgit last year to help improve the quality of broadband services in rural areas through proposed initiatives.
Welcome back. The distribution of Peranti Siswa Keluarga Malaysia devices to students will begin in June. Communications and Multimedia Minister Tan Sri Anwar Musa said the program is set to benefit 350,000 students of higher learning.
Anwar said the Peranti Siswa Keluarga Malaysia program devices are of premium quality and well-known brands. The Peranti Siswa Keluarga Malaysia program was announced in the 2022 budget in line with the government's aspiration that students of institutions of higher learning IPT have devices and internet access at affordable prices. Under the program, students are required to return the devices at the end of their studies. Earlier, the Ministry of Communications and Multimedia, together with the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Higher Education, have officially launched the Peranti Siswa Keluarga Malaysia program on Wednesday. However, the actual registration for the program will only take place starting from 8 a.m. on 15 April at the Peranti Siswa portal on KCOM's website.
PPB Group, the owner of Golden Screen Cinemas, is optimistic that the lifting of movement control curbs, relaxation of social restrictions, and a strong lineup of movie blockbusters would boost cinema admissions. The group anticipates its film exhibition and distribution segment to deliver better financial results on a year-on-year basis as the recovery momentum picks up in 2022.
PPB Managing Director Lim Soon Huat said the group has outlined several development plans for the year, such as the GSC Rewards Program to drive admissions, as well as retaining and attracting new cinema goers, while simultaneously building customer loyalty. In September 2021, GSC completed the acquisition of 18 cinema assets from MCAT Box Office and Real Entertainment Holdings, increasing its domestic market share to more than 50%.
The Philippine military pledged on Thursday to keep up search and rescue efforts after tropical storm MEGI ripped through central areas this week, burying many under landslides and killing at least 123 people. MEGI is the first cyclone to hit the Philippines this year, which sees an average of 20 tropical storms annually.
86 of the casualties were in Baybay, where 236 people were also injured, the city government said in a report. Meanwhile, the National Disaster Agency said 3 others drowned in different provinces, while 6 people are still missing. Aerial photographs and videos from the local government showed collapsed slopes, burying houses in dirt and mud. MEGI, which made landfall on Sunday with sustained winds of up to 65 kilometers per hour and gusts of up to 80 kilometers per hour, has since dissipated. More than 162,000 displaced residents are sheltering in evacuation centers, while a further 41,000 are living with relatives. MEGI's destructive path has revived memories of other deadly storms in the Philippines. In December, Category 5 Typhoon Rai ravaged the central Philippines, with death toll reaching 405 and nearly 1,400 injured. Typhoon Haiyan, one of the most powerful tropical cyclones ever recorded, killed 6,300 in 2013.
Over 1,000 Ukrainian soldiers have surrendered in Mariupol as Russia's strike on Ukrainian military continues. Video released by the Russian Defense Ministry on Wednesday showed a Russian warship firing missiles from the waters of the Black Sea.
The ministry's spokesman said that 1,026 soldiers from Ukraine's 36th Marine Brigade, including 162 officers, had laid down their arms near the Ilyich Iron and Steelworks in Mariupol. A statement from the Russian Defense Ministry said that Russia has fully taken the port of Mariupol from the Azov Battalion and freed all hostages. The rest of the Ukrainian forces and the Nazis are besieged and unable to escape. Ukrainian armed forces said that the fighting in Mariupol was going on, but didn't mention the surrender of Ukrainian soldiers. Ukrainian presidential advisor Alexei Arestovich announced on social media last Wednesday that the 36th Marine Brigade successfully reinforced troops in the city of Mariupol. Earlier in the day, the governor of Russia's Kursk region said that the frontier guards in the region bordering Ukraine had come under fire, and the Russian forces fired back. No casualties or property damage were caused.
And that's the quarter-hour update on News at 5. More headlines at TVSTVMY or follow us on our social media. Once again, I'm Douglas Elliott. Thank you for watching.